What's up? What's up? How's it going, guys? Might turn up the music a little bit. How's it going? You guys having a good day? Or I guess good night, basically. I'm late. What's up, Cyber, Demon Dog, Mellow? Nice to catch you live. Found your channel when I was upgrading my computer over last few weeks. I like your content. Thank you very much. What's up, Moon? I was reading a little bit of you guys' chat here before this. I don't know. Can you guys see the history of the chat? Yeah, because do you upload Procy? I didn't know you uploaded. Check it. What kind of videos do you make, dude? So right now, yeah, I was reading the chat before, and it seems like, so my opinion on the situation is that there is actually a lot of really good affordable hardware out there, but it's very much overshadowed by all the bullshit that's going on. Yeah, even the AP is pretty good, William. I agree. You use tech stuff. I'll check out your channel, dude. Do we roast Prusu Tech? Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know you uploaded. It's Prosu's channel. Is it Prosu? Am I pronouncing that right? What's up, PF? Demon Dog? And Anton O'Manning. He's absolutely amazing. In 2023, if you just turn on the settings a little bit, yeah. I definitely agree. And how do you guys feel about like the new games coming out that are like, obviously the VRAM is like a big problem. Like when it comes down to it, like when you guys play a game and if it's really graphically intensive and it looks beautiful or whatever, do you end up coming back to the game after that? I feel like gameplay is king over all this stuff. Yeah, William, I have a laptop with a Ryzen 6800H in it, and it can run like, I mean, I play a lot of Overwatch. It can run Overwatch at like 90 FPS. Good settings, 1080p native. It's like, honestly, that's fine. Seems like my alerts in chat are delayed for some reason. Some subs. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so what I wanted to do... here. Do you guys know who Danny Danny Z Reviews, I think that's what his channel is. You guys have probably seen this, right? Similar content to like what I make. Yeah. You know what I would do? Sorry, my screen I have chat on is so small. Anton, dude, I would go in Minecraft every night. I don't know if you guys ever did this, but I would go in Minecraft and just mess with shader packs for like 2 or 3 hours and not even play the game. Even though I used to play the shit out of Minecraft. I'm gonna talk about 2 things. Games are not worth spending my money on a hobby at the moment. The golden age of the early 2000s is over. That's fair. You want to perceive it like that. I think you can get a 6600 XT and game at 1080p and be like pretty happy. Way better than what I started with. Started with the used components. I started out with the GTX 770. It's still a decent card though. See some new people in chat here. This is nice. Let's see, I can read it better here. Sup, Gearhead? Stuff, I think. Depends on the game narrative. Yeah, so what I wanted to do here is Danny Z made a review. Not a review, he made a video talking about this, which is similar to what I made a video on. I made another video at one point. It's like PC gaming is more affordable than ever this year. But I think Danny said it so much better than me, so I kind of wanted to react to this on the stream. Whoa, you got a 6800 XT for $395, dude. That's a deal, right? Let me check eBay. 1 second. You get it on auction? Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, I started the stream a little early. I was ready to go. I was just on a Discord call with a friend. I'm doing a video on AIB graphics cards. So that's what you guys can expect next. And do you guys know? You guys might know. You might know it. So do you guys know the anime graphics cards? Are links? I don't have any moderation. That's a dangerous thing saying, but I don't have any moderation chat now. You can do links. Talked about. Also, yeah, I also just recorded a video on Immortals Avium. And that was quite a game. Why would you? You might see that video next, actually. I don't know why you would ever make a game that no one can play, or like a very small amount of the population can play. Sup, Runzelmo? Hi, new channel. Welcome to the channel. Let's see. I'm looking to buy an next GPU. If you're looking for a GPU for Photoshop, honestly, like a freaking 3060 is fast enough. So, do you want a game on it? And then video editing is the same, like 3060 is still probably fast enough to do that. Hey, welcome back, SpongeBob. Yeah, so my friend has this Yeston graphics card, and I was talking about AIB cards in the video, and I was asking him why he bought it. Why would you guys buy this card? Just ask that question. Why did I get 4K, 1440p ultra wide? Steel Tech, I almost got. I'd buy it if I was a weeb. I wouldn't. So what if I told you that this RTX 3080, so this is a 3080 10 gigabyte, brand new, he bought it for $550. Would that sway your opinion? Whereas 3080's MSRP is 700. And on the used market, a used 3080 is 550. Yeah, I don't think he didn't pay a premium for it. I don't know how it was so cheap. It was like it was selling for $650, and then there was $100 rebate on it. He scooped that up. I love the shroud on it too. You guys see the shroud? Such a unique. It's hard to show it. It's hard to show it, but look how cool this shroud looks. Like if you never saw the anime girl on the back of it, looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. How much for RX 6950 XT? I think 6950 XT is about 650 right now. Yeah. What's up, Beans Domain? I live in Caribbean. I'm trying to build a decent PC, especially with modern parts. It is basically impossible. Well, that's what we're going to talk about here. Beans Domain. Yeah. So, Danny Z made a video about PC gaming is unaffordable, and I wanted to react to it. See what you guys think. And tell me, I think I need to pause music. Let me know if you want me to turn music back on. I don't think he has music in his videos.
Graphics cards are becoming so expensive, and with all this talk lately about how graphics cards are becoming so expensive and unattainable for the masses, makes it seem like PC gaming in general is headed towards the direction of unaffordability.
So first off, he starts, because all the new cards are releasing, it is very, very like, oh, this is it's unaffordable for everybody.
However, if you actually take a few steps back and evaluate the market as a whole with prices of all different components taken into consideration and what people are actually playing, then I'd say it's actually a fantastic time to become a PC gamer. Let's discuss that in this video. Hey, if you enjoy content like this, drop a like, make sure to subscribe.
I'm not gonna lie, Danny's videos are a little corny with his intros and stuff.
Going on, guys, Danny here. Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you all been doing well. I wanted to make this video because lately there's been a lot of discussion in the PC hardware space, especially surrounding new generation graphics cards, and most of it unfortunately hasn't been good. I've definitely contributed to that discussion. I mean, you can go ahead and take a look at my previous uploads where I've...
Well, what you'll just have to wait for this video. They're definitely not like, the cards are getting more expensive, but they are the actual like new cards, you know, are getting more expensive. But if you want to get something that has a reasonable amount of performance compared to in the past, you'd have to pay a lot more to get that same level of performance. So that's what this whole video is about. Because like nowadays, say like a 6600 XT, about $250 is as fast as a 1080 Ti, which was a $700 graphics card. And then even nowadays, that $700 would be more like $800 to $900 with inflation. So just think about that.
expressed my displeasure with...
Nick, I gotta answer your question. Yeah. Who's my favorite non-tech YouTuber? Just gonna take this out here for a second. Just make sure I don't get any weird stuff on YouTube. I tend to watch a lot of Overwatch YouTubers. I'd say my favorite YouTuber right now outside of it is probably Awkward. I really like Awkward's videos. He does unranked GMs in Overwatch. So like just grinding. I was just watching this video today. Yeah, that's probably my favorite non-tech YouTuber. He's really good at the game. But yeah. That's basically it. It's probably my favorite right now. I also watch like Linus Tech Tips like almost every day, but that's tech. Oh yeah, let's listen to
NVIDIA's
this.
new releases. One of the major hot topics has been the glaring pricing issues of these new graphics cards. The prices have just been on a steep uptrend and have just become way too expensive relative to previous generations, significantly beyond what you'd consider to be in line with the inflation rate.
Now he does show. I will say he shows this here with like the 80 class cards. With this generation of cards, I don't think this 4080 is an 80 class card. I think this is basically replacing like a 90. Because that's such an unreasonable price jump.
But any newcomer to
I've been binging your channel. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, man. You guys are gonna. Yeah. Dude, they should have released Tears of the Kingdom on a new Switch model.
this market, or even someone perhaps looking at making some upgrades, might actually end up intimidated or deterred from the PC gaming space because they'll see headlines of how we're getting new graphics cards at obscenely high prices with no groundbreaking performance uplifts unless you're willing to shell out $1,600 plus. Furthermore, when you see hardware reviewers testing out recently released modern AAA titles with new tech bringing even the most expensive graphics cards to their knees, it can create this sort of false obsolescence mindset with the consumer that their old hardware or lower end hardware just isn't good enough, which absolutely is not true. A lot of these new games have new tech built into them, path traced lighting and shadows, which are extremely demanding. Along with that, they're using uber high textures, taxing the VRAM buffers of even high-end GPUs, resulting in low performance figures. People see this kind of stuff and they'll go, oh wow, this person is using a $600 CPU with a $800 GPU and they're getting performance this low. I guess I'll just stay away from PC gaming because I can't afford the hardware they're testing with.
It could be very easy to fall into the trap with PC gaming because you can spend an unreasonable amount of money on it. A ridiculous amount of money on it, actually. But never really like most people aren't going to do that. So let me read some of these. Well, like, I think that the 80 class, the 4080 was such an unreasonable price jump this generation that it should have had a different name. But I think they wanted to shift the naming structure. That's why the 4070 Ti now is at $800. Yeah.
Seeing the comments on my videos and various other places, a lot of people out there are saying they'll just game on a console or look at a different hobby altogether, but I'm here to tell you it
Dude, I've had people in the comments of my videos saying that like, oh, I'm glad I stopped PC gaming. It was such a bad use of money. Like, damn. You don't have to spend that much. You really don't. You really don't.
doesn't have to be like that. Let's forget about PC hardware for a moment. I want to show you guys this screenshot I took from the Steam Charts website. This is a website that shows the current player count of games on Steam, and mind you, I took this screenshot a bit before midnight Eastern Standard Time, so the player counts aren't as high as where they usually are during the afternoon.
Tech 360.
But if you take a look at the top 20 games that have the highest player count, you'll see that there aren't really any games on that list which are considered to be demanding. Modern Warfare 2 2022 or Warzone 2 came out in the last quarter of 2022, so it's one of the newer titles on this list, and it'll run fine on a lot of hardware that is out there, but we'll get more into that in just a moment.
So yeah, what do you guys think about that? So these are the most common games that people play, right? So they're not that demanding. So the games that actually tend to have people coming back and playing them consistently seem to at least be accessible to people that don't have the most insane hardware that's out there. In fact, actually, my friend bought a PS5. I know this is consoles, but he bought a PS5 and ended up selling it because he just stuck with his PS4 because he didn't feel like he needed it.
Now let's head on over to twitch.tv's browse section, sorted by the highest viewer count, and take a look at some of the video games that are available on PC. What you will notice is that a lot of these games that are still dominating the top spots aren't even modern games or demanding games. GTA 5 is one of the most viewed titles, and this is a game from 2013, a decade ago. Same goes for League of Legends, CSGO, Minecraft, and more. These games will work just fine and offer the user excellent performance on lower end and previous generation hardware. The point here is that even though we reviewers are using modern AAA titles to demonstrate the strengths and weaknesses of these new CPUs and GPUs, that doesn't necessarily mean those games tested are reflective of what's popular and what PC gamers are actually playing.
Yeah. Is a Radeon good for productivity? I would say Radeon is it's iffy. For sure. There's starting to be more support right now.
Last month, I made a video where I did a 40 game mega benchmark head-to-head showdown of my RTX 4090 and RTX 3090. You'll notice that 28 of those games tested, so that's more than half, are modern single-player titles. I tested them because some of them support ray tracing and they have really high level textures plus more graphical fidelity features, so it allows us to attain information on how this hardware and architecture performs versus the previous generation. When these games come out, they often generate a lot of discussion because it's new and everyone wants to see how this new piece of software can push their hardware. But if I'm to be frank, once they have gotten their fulfillment out of it, then that's it. Listen, as cool as Cyberpunk 2077 looks, I really have no desire to go back and replay it. If you see me on Steam and it says I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 now, it's probably because I'm testing hardware. But
Dude, he says this so much better than I could ever say it. Like, just seeing a game for its visuals and not actually its gameplay. It's tough. Imagine working on a game so long and you work on its visuals and everything as a developer, and then the gameplay doesn't have people wanting to come back to it. Vex, I always miss your name. Okay. SpongeBob, bro, like, if I don't see your question, like, don't demand me. If I saw it, I saw it. 13600 and 6800, a good combo. I mean, it's probably fine. I don't think they're gonna bottleneck each other that much. A random one, I was just about to mention that one. Yeah, if you look at the Steam charts too, I'm sorry, but like the single player games that are very visually impressive, where people don't go back to them. They're not playing them all the time. We talk about them when they release, play them, beat it, and then leave it. It's like, why does it have to be so intensive for every system to run? It's cool to see. Once it's over, it's over. The only game on here that actually has still a reasonable player base is Resident Evil 4. That's single player. I guess it's Sims single player. That's not graphically intensive. Like, I don't really see much. Skyrim, but Skyrim's one of the most sold games of all time, so it doesn't really surprise me. Cyberpunk here, it's number 50. It's still popular, but again, it's one of the biggest games out there. Among Us. Yeah. You're replaying Cyberpunk? I don't know. Those games have never had me coming back. I'm not gonna lie.
Always down to go back and play some matches in CSGO or mess around in a server on Minecraft, because those types of games offer much better replayability. There you have the
And just think, on this list of most played, this doesn't even include Fortnite and Minecraft. You know those games are up there.
Player component there, hence you see them dominating the top spots in Steam charts or on Twitch views. What's also not reflective of what most PC gamers are doing is playing with maxed or ultra settings. Sure, I can see someone arguing that they want to be able to take full advantage of the hardware they have paid for, especially if you've bought a high-end expensive GPU like a 4090 to enjoy the eye candy, but most gamers aren't in that position, so therefore they're going to be turning down or using a mixture of settings to optimize performance. I want to bring this up because there's been so much talk about how 8 gigabytes or 10 gigabytes of VRAM isn't enough these days. Now, for a new graphics card that has been released in late 2022 or released in 2023 and is struggling due to VRAM issues, then yeah, I can see why people are annoyed by this. However, if you're on an older piece of hardware and you're crying about how The Last of Us on PC is running poorly, then turn your freaking settings down. Even on my OLED rig, which has an RTX 4090, I still turn down some settings and use a mixture between medium, high, and ultra, because I often find there are settings out there that have a large impact to your performance, but visually, it's not that much better than just high or medium. Along with that, it also depends on the types of games I'm playing. Multiplayer games like COD or CS.
I feel like you're speaking a lot of truth here. I've seen Cyberpunk mods go kind of crazy. Yeah, the Last of Us port, I think, was pretty poorly optimized. It's gonna show over time that it gets excuse me. I think it's gonna get what the heck was I thinking? I think that's gonna show that a lot of games are probably gonna get close to 12 gigs of VRAM, but right now it's just unoptimized. But I think the more and more effects that developers want to put in games, the less and less time they're gonna have to optimize them anyways. And just think, like, developer teams are bigger than they've ever been. So you also have to think about that, and they still can't optimize them.
I'm playing everything at low. I don't care. FPS is the top priority there. This is why when you look at hardware reviews, many reviewers, I guess to save time or for simplicity's sake, just use an ultra or very high preset in the game and then call it a day. So you run into these sort of situations where they're showing you abysmal performance results from the graphics card, but the quick and easy solution is to go from
Obi, no cards are crashing on Last of Us. It offloads it to the system RAM. But you can max out the VRAM in Last of Us, so newer cards with little VRAM have the crashing. No, it's just Last of Us did it better than Resident Evil 4. SpongeBob, bro, you need to calm down.
From ultra to high and the problem goes away. Along with that, resolution.
Take my question. Am I keeping the 5900X or upgrading to 7900X? I never said I was upgrading.
Resolution is just as important to take into account. Over on the Steam hardware survey, the most dominant resolution is 1080p at 64%, followed by 1440p at 21%, and 4K sitting at a little less than.
Yeah, I agree with Random. Like, if you're at 12600K, 6700 XT, most games that you're going to play, even the more demanding ones, like if you're at the most common resolution, which it seems like Danny just popped up on the screen here, the 1080p is the most common. For even 1440p, the 6700 XT is still pretty capable. I don't even think you're going to be complaining about the I don't even think you're going to complain about anything at 1080p. Even the most demanding games. Yeah, you might not be running ray tracing on it, but that's about it.
2%, which is funny because with the way Nvidia and AMD talk about 4K along with hardware reviewers, you would think the adoption of 4K would have been a lot higher by now. But in reality, that's not the case, as most PC gamers are satisfied with the visuals offered by 1080p and would opt for higher frame rates.
I want to know your guys' thoughts on this too. So most people are still at 1080p. 1440p is at 20% and it's gaining ground in the market. So why are you guys on 1080p or 1440p? And why, if you went to 1440p, what made you upgrade? For me personally, I had 1080p and then I upgraded to 1440p because I wanted a bigger monitor, but I still wanted the same pixel density. That's the only reason I upgraded to 1440. Because 1080p just wouldn't be sharp enough. So like, is it just like where 1080p monitor is just too small, or are people just upgrading their monitors just because?
With all of that said, and the reason why I wanted to discuss this is because In 2023, you can now build a very capable gaming PC that I'd say would be in the reach for a lot of PC gamers in the market. It's an absolutely fantastic time to get into the PC gaming world because now you have so many options available to you on the market that will easily fulfill the
I like 1080p all the way up to 24 inches, actually. 27 inches was pushing it. It's really sharp at 21 inches, though. It looks 1080p. And 1080p gives you a lot of advantages. Like, you don't have to have a crazy GPU. Most of 1080p, but my 1440p 32-inch needs to have a GPU that can handle extra load. Yeah. You might need to upgrade your GPU, unless your GPU could run 1080p fine, and then you just use DLSS at 1440. I downsample, yeah. Build here with this one there too. 4K with 27-inch monitor. That'll be really sharp, Ivan. Bruh, hey, what the hell? I upgraded my 1440p recommendation. Ever saw it? Okay. Only reason I ever wanted a high-end card. Yeah. My friend's 1600p. Wait, you got a monitor with... You got a standalone monitor at 1600p? Is that 16 by 10? Bow banders, 47. I need a 23-inch 1440p monitor. Wow. That's the biggest size monitor you can fit on your desk. Bro, that's tough. People underrated good HDR implementation. I've never experienced HDR. Do you guys like HDR? Have you experienced it? Because everything I have hasn't really had it.
Needs for like 90% of gamers out there
16 by 10, yeah.
the bank. So what I wanted to do next was go over a PC build that I made over on PC Part Picker's website that I'm certain will easily allow anyone who's interested in getting into PC gaming. To start off, I wanted to go over my choice for the CPU. Now this was actually a pretty difficult choice to make because on the CPU market there are actually so many great options available, not just in the high-end segments but in all segments. I did really like Intel's i5-13400F, considering it's basically a 12600KF, but ultimately I decided to go for AMD's Ryzen 5 5600, even though this is a last generation
Again, like CPUs are awesome. The CPU power that you can get nowadays, just think, if you wanted to get a CPU with 8 cores on it, I mean, obviously, let's say like 12 cores. You can get an i7 nowadays for like $300, where if you wanted 12 cores back in the day, you'd probably need to get something that's probably close to $1,000. It's honestly incredible. Except I don't have any.
Processor, it's still a very capable 6-core CPU that will work great with all the games that I've mentioned and with the GPU I've chosen. And should the user decide to
Also, what do you guys think about OLED? Would you agree that most games are being released aren't worth upgrading your rig for? I don't play the latest games, so for me, I don't care. Also, Danny in this review, he did say this, this video. You can actually get 5700Xs for like 170. Like, just get the 5700X. You get 2 extra cores, 4 threads. I get it. I've heard that OLEDs don't have as legible text on them. So I do a decent amount of text work. So that would probably
great with all the games that I've mentioned and with the GPU I've chosen. And should the user...
But OLED looks great on my phone, and I have an old PS Vita. I don't know if you guys ever had that, but that had an OLED screen that looked gorgeous too.
Decide to upgrade to a faster GPU down the road and want a faster CPU to pair with it, they can easily drop in a 5800X 3D as an upgrade. Right now over on Amazon, you can pick the CPU up for $141, which I think is an excellent value. Now I did also include a CPU cooler.
I think you could probably, like at normal room lighting, I think you could just use OLED. I don't think they're that dim.
In this build.
I want to get my PS Vita out, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Well, you see that almost every Justin, man, there's pretty much OLED's pretty much on every phone that's out right now. So like if you have like an iPhone in the past 6 years, probably, I think the iPhone 10 was the first one to have OLED, or something like that. It honestly, OLED's been on phones forever. And the thing is, like, yeah, you could have burn-in on your phone, but there's your phone's like never staying at the same like screen, so like the pixels are always moving, so it's pretty safe. I'll grab my Vita real quick. I love my Vita. Like, do you get, I mean, this thing's kind of dusty. I don't really use it that much, but do you guys remember this thing? Oh my god, that's not focusing. What a nice console. No games on it, though. Well, yeah. Basically, what they're good for nowadays is like modding. You can mod emulators on these things. Man, they are nice. I love the Vita. Shame it didn't have games. I also like the clamshell design of the DS more than the 3DS. So, yeah. I got my Vita used for like $140 at one point. Yeah.
Are tight on cash, you can skip this because the Ryzen 5 5600 does come bundled with AMD stuff.
Y'all have phones, right? I think I missed some comments. What's up, Nobara? 400. No. A $400 PS5 isn't faster than a $2,000 PC. Actually, it's as fast as about an $800 PC. And usually get PS5s for $500. What's up, Fake Eye? What's up? Yeah. Blizzard really messed up there.
Stealth cooler, which will do the job, but I've used that cooler before.
Danny makes a video in this, a PC in this video that is faster than a PS5.
And it's
and it's a PC. You don't have to pay for online, and you don't have to pay the PlayStation Store tax if you want to buy games. You can get games for cheaper on Epic and Steam. So you have to take that into account when you build a PC.
Struggled even with the Ryzen 5 3600, and it'll be noisy. So for just $20, this Thermalright single tower cooler.
The PS5 upscales very heavily at 4K. It's usually running at like 1080p. They put a lot of tricks on that
will
already.
Be a huge improvement in both thermals and acoustics. For the motherboard, I've selected ASRock's B550M Riptide. It's nothing crazy, but again, for the CPU of our choice, it'll be plenty, and it's still got all the essential features you'll need. It's got a PCIe 4.0 slot, 2 M.2 slot, decent amount of USB, and supports memory overclocking. And like I said, should the user need to upgrade to something like a 5800X3D, it'll be more than enough to handle that upgrade as well, and it'll be as simple as updating the BIOS and dropping it in. For $100, it's a great choice. Moving on, and for our RAM, we've got a 16GB.
Do you guys know how cheap RAM is now? If you're on DDR4? Oh my god. Well, you guys gotta see this. Dude, if you want to get some RAM right now, there is a kit of rip draws. 32GB kit for $67. It's 3200 megahertz, but CL16. Man, that is a lot. That is cheap. Yeah, and how many games have you guys gotten from Epic? Like, I've used Shadow the Tomb Raider in some of my testing benchmarking videos. I get that for free. I got Control for free. I don't play the games. But there's games I actually would play if I wasn't addicted to Overwatch. Yeah. DDR4 is really nice right now. I was thinking about getting 64 gigabytes of RAM. I have 32 right now. I have this Vengeance kit. I have this one, which I bought for $90 like a few months ago. It's 42 bucks. Oh, I don't have that one. I have this one. Okay, it's a little bit more expensive. 72. Yeah, it looks like you pay a good amount more for the speed. But man, I might get more RAM. I mean Diva, Draco. I'm a Diva main.
Kit from G-Skill.
Call me a degenerate.
This kit is rated to run at 3600 mega transfers with a cast latency rating of 16. So our out-of-box configuration is pretty close to that sweet spot for Zen 3. Now you can always tune your RAM yourself if you're willing to take the time to learn, but
also, do you guys know how to tune RAM? And what benefits do you get for tuning your RAM? Can you up the mega transfers? PC or PS5? I mean, I'm gonna pick PC. I switched from console a long time ago. Anna main. Anna's, if I'm playing support, Anna is my main as well. Anna's just really fun. Bro, I squish people all the time. They think they get away from the bomb, and then I squish them because I ran to their cover and I squish them.
For those who just want a good set it and forget it solution, this kit will work great, and for $51, it's really cheap. Speaking of cheap, it's crazy to see just how much prices have plummeted for SSDs over these past few months. It wasn't that long ago actually where 1TB SSDs were over $100, and now you can get them for well below that. This 1TB SSD from Crucial's P5 Plus series is no exception. It's Gen 4, offering blazing fast sequential read and write speed.
Do you guys have NVMe? That is a question as well. I just saw it. Do you think Doomfist needs buffs? Right now, I think he's in a good place. At the beginning, like when Overwatch 2 launched, yeah, he needed some, and then they overbuffed him, and then they brought him back down. I think he's pretty good right now. He's a very skill-based character.
It comes with a DRAM cache. It should make your system run very snappy.
Lifeweaver goes crazy.
Now we
with
move on
Doom
to
2.
what I consider the most important part of this build, where most of our budget went to, the graphics card. As mentioned in the start of the video, the new generation options...
The problem with $500 for a PS5, at least in my opinion, is like, I know you shouldn't look to future-proofing on PC, but if you're talking about more of an investment, PC I think is better. Like, you get free games on Epic, you have free online, you can literally make money by using your PC. Like, if you do work on your PC, it can actually be an investment for you compared to a console where you can't do that stuff. You actually just can't. Hey guys, we're at 69 viewers.
Worth it. They're just way too expensive for what most people even need these days. Therefore, I decided to go with some...
Westward Smile. How do I ask my question? Just type it in chat. Unless I missed it. I mean, chat's moving pretty quick for me, so I'm trying to keep up.
Previous generation, and if you look on the market, you'll find plenty of great options available to fit your needs at a sensible price. I recently made a video discussing how Intel's Arc GPUs are now viable options for the mainstream gamers.
Bro, what the hell? We're at 69 viewers. We're not supposed to go up.
Because I wanted to go with something I could recommend without having to, put in a disclaimer that you'll need to be aware of some troubleshooting, I decided to go with AMD. AMD has a lot of great value options available now from their previous Gen 6000 series, since they've dropped down the prices on a lot of those models. With that said, the graphics card that I chose for this build is AMD's RX 6700 non-XT. This is a GPU that I think some of you may not have even known existed. AMD had quietly released this card, or rather it was their board partners. This GPU is a slightly cut down RX 6700 XT. It's got 36 compute units as opposed to 40. It has 10 gigabytes of VRAM and a 160-bit bus. There aren't a lot of
So a lot of people say that you can't build a PC for, like, well, obviously you can't buy it as build a PC as cheap as a console right now, but like you can get pretty close. The 6700 is faster than the PS5 for sure. No, you can just type it in chat. You don't have to donate to me. Do you still regret not getting a Radeon GPU? Me? Oh man, I wish I tried Radeon. And the only problem with my situation now is like, I could maybe do a video with getting a lower end Radeon GPU and then use it for testing for a video's sake. But the problem with it is I won't be able to daily drive a lower power GPU, so I'm just going to end up going back to my 3080. So I'd have to get something faster, and that means I'm going to have to pay even more. So and I can't sell my 3080 for enough. I'll be leaving money on the table if I sell my 3080.
Reviews out there for this GPU, but a few outlets.
But I was thinking about getting a 5700 XT because they're about $150 and trying it out. I always wonder what DLSS goes for VRAM use. Does it even do anything? It should reduce your VRAM usage, maybe not a whole ton, but you should be able to use lower res textures with DLSS, so you should get better VRAM.
Have
usage.
Done some tests. Tom's Hardware did a review of the Sapphire model, which is the same one I've chosen for this build. And overall, it's comparable to an RTX 3060 Ti. The reason why I decided to go for this GPU is because of its price point. At $299, I think it offers really good bang for the buck. It's only about $20 more than what RX 6650 XTs go for, but does offer considerably better performance, along with having 2 more gigabytes of VRAM. Also, compared to Nvidia, the price is just way better. Nvidia's products tend to hold their value better than AMD stuff because of their mindshare dominance, so despite being over 2 years old, 3060 Ti's aren't that much lower than MSRP if you're looking for new, that is. Sure, you can probably find something much cheaper on the used market, but the used market isn't the answer for everyone. But new 3060.
Also, do you guys buy your components used? And thanks 11 Alt for compliments. Thank you. Try to keep it up, my dude. Yeah. I'm really torn on what to buy, 7900 XT or XTX. What is it? John. By the way, how the heck do you turn on slow chat? There's somewhere in there. I know you can. Do you have to live chat replay? Live reactions. Oh, slow mode. What does slow mode do though? Like guys, if I turn on slow mode for chat, what does this do? Is it gonna stop messages? I see, like, I should still see everything, right? But how does it make it slower? Try to cage us. Dude, I can't read. That's the problem. I can't keep up, right? Yeah, there's too many people now. I mean, that's a good problem to have. I'll leave it. I'll just leave it safe for now. Only lets you message every. Oh, I got you. So it gives cooldowns to chat. I think that's kind of annoying. If it gets to be too much, then yeah. Gad, is that, am I pronouncing that right? God or Gad? I live in a third world country, so this question's current system is a 6700 with a GTX 1070. I want to play 1440p 140 hertz. What CPU GPU content combo lasts me another 5 years of playing that? It depends. What games are you playing? Are you playing like competitive, like easier to run games, or what? My 1070, like if I was playing like quote unquote esports titles, I could run that at 144 hertz on a 1070. Just you just like, you don't push settings crazy. I'm not in a talking yet, so you don't have to. It's okay, man. Okay. Yes, PC game is too expensive. So, Antball, what about PC gaming is too expensive to you? Do you want to buy the latest cards and you can't buy the latest cards? Or what are you looking for?
60 Ti prices, in my opinion, are just terrible. Therefore, given the performance, specs, and price, going with the RX 6700 was the clear choice. Given the selection of games that most people are playing, this GPU will have absolutely no problem delivering high frame rates in those games, and will also easily be able to handle those AAA games at 1080p, and will be very capable at even 1440p too. Just don't go all crazy with settings, take 3 to 5 minutes tweaking some settings, and trust me, you'll have a wonderful experience with this card.
I think he said he wants his rig to last for 5 years. It just depends on the game that you're playing.
As for the case, this can be really anything you want, as long as it's able to accommodate cooling, airflow, and has a decent amount of space to work in. Anything's a viable option.
People saying that. Hey, just don't buy a 4090. Don't support them for making things super expensive either. It's the best thing to do. 10 Easy. A serious question. Do you think AMD's upcoming 7800? I have no clue. Sub Young Ministry. I have no clue. AMD has said nothing about these cards. I would assume that a 7800 XT will probably be around the performance of a 3090, somewhere in there. And I really think, and this is such a big price jump, but I think it needs to go for like 550 or 600 to make it an attractive offer. So if they can do that, then yeah. And it needs to offer more VRAM than the 4070. Then that'll make actually people want to buy it. So 4070 is not selling it at its price point, and it has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. So it needs to be a way better deal than that. Raw fun. I want to buy a 2060 Super for $200 from AliExpress. They have extremely good deals. I mean, that's... Oh, Corey, dude, everybody wants a 4090. I want a 4090. Like, everybody does. George, do you think a 4060 is dead on arrival? I think it is, if it has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. I don't know how they did the same thing with two cards. So the 4060 is probably going to be about the same performance as the 3070, and the 3070 is struggling at 8 gigabytes of VRAM. It's like, if you're buying a new card, it shouldn't be struggling on the new games. I'm just saying.
The CC560 from Deepcool is a good option. You get 4 120mm fans with RGB, so lots of airflow, a lot of space inside, and a tempered glass side panel to show off all your parts. As for the power supply, didn't really need anything fancy here either, just something with a decent efficiency rating from a reputable brand. Therefore, I've gone with Corsair's CX750M, which is probably a bit overkill for this build, but this will give the user some headroom should they upgrade to a faster CPU and GPU down the road. It's also semi-modular, so it should also help them out with cable management. For $90, it's a pretty good choice.
Also, Danny makes he doesn't say it specifically, but you want to buy a reliable power supply because they can last over 10 years. You might as well just spend a little bit of money on a power supply. You can carry that on to PC upgrade, probably over 10 years, and it'll be fine. So you really should.
All right, so since we've gone through the list of parts, our grand total before taxes comes up to $839. For a build that will be able to handle modern gaming with modest settings at 1080p and 1440p, and delivering great frame rates, high refresh gaming in the titles we saw from places like Steam charts, this is an excellent price, and one that is definitely within reach for a lot of consumers out there. Obviously, depending on your region, pricing will vary, but this is a sensible build.
So, question for chat. What do you guys think? So for $840 for a PC, you don't have to pay subscriptions for online use. You don't have to pay the sales tax of like PlayStation or Xbox, where you don't get deals as often, and you get free games on Epic. And then you have all the advantages of having a PC. Is $840 a reasonable price? In my opinion, it is. And then you can still use some things into the future. Like, you should be able to use this case for your next build, this power supply for your next build, your drive. You'll probably have to, maybe your CPU cooler as well. But I do a lot. I think that's a good deal. And just see, like, no, this is going to be able to max out everything at 1080p. Completely fine. I gotta go use the restroom really quick. I'm gonna turn on some music for you guys. Just gotta go take a pee. Catch up a little bit. Which would be the best for video editing, 4070 or 6900 XT? What? Time my man out. You can't do that. I did wash my hands. I did. Yeah, sorry, I didn't quite see everything. So what did you guys think about the price? I saw some yeses in chat before I left. Stop the cap. I did. I can't prove it, okay? My hands are good. Okay.
That will fulfill the needs for most people. If you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, PC gaming has actually become quite a bit cheaper. It's just that because the prices on new graphics cards coming out has become so ludicrous, it falsely alludes to PC gaming in general becoming too expensive. However, a build like this with the performance that's being offered from the Ryzen 5 5600 and an RX 6700 would have easily costed you double, if not more, like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't think enough people are realizing just how incredible it is that we're able to build PCs as powerful as this for less than $900. Sure, we're not quite at that console killer level yet, but if you actually think about this, a system like this in the long run will probably be even cheaper than what you'll end up paying for if you had gone with a PS5 or Xbox Series X. Now, I know some of you guys might be looking at this build and going, well, that's great and all, but what if I want something that isn't on a dead-end platform, so I can upgrade like 4 years down the road? Kind of like how a Ryzen 5 1600 owner...
I don't have any. You should have a mod for chat. Should I get mods? Is there enough people in chat that I should get mods? I don't know. Driver issues keep me from getting an AMD card. That's why I want to get an AMD card to see if these driver issues are true. That people always say that, but I've heard from YouTubers that it's need mods. Are people just gonna start saying slurs in chat? Oh God, I'll just open the beast. I think YouTube does some basic moderation. What do you have, Stuff? I think. What card do you have? I don't think I'm gonna trade because I do want to keep a And I could always use, I have Stream Elements. I could use the Stream Elements, but I need to set it up though before stream. I'll need to keep a 3080 for testing now. A higher end NVIDIA card. Bruh, you're not getting my 3080. You goofy ass. That'd be a downgrade. Here's a bad. Thought drivers were bad. 6950 XT for years. The last live stream I was in, the chat was going to make my head explode. Hey, I'm trying to read it. Like, think if he did. Yeah, stuff, dude. You'd have to. So I bought my 3080 for $550. What you can get 6650s for like $300, I think. So you'd have to give me that in $250, and I'm not doing that anyways. But I think that's what they go for. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to give me it, and maybe like even more than that. Stuff. What do you think about? Do you record videos? What do you think about the encoders? I think with the new cards, if I were to get a 7000 series card, they'd have what are they called? The AV1 encoders. So I think it'd be sick. Yeah, let's finish up this video.
Might upgrade to a 5800X3D like 5 years later. Well, as an alternative, you can go for the Ryzen 5 7600 on the AM5 platform, but the price does jump up quite a bit, around $230. However, the benefits of this build are that the CPU is more powerful, you get new platform features, and you've got a good upgrade path if AMD decides to keep supporting B650 boards until 2025. But I don't generally recommend parts on future-proofing or promises because you just never know, so keep that in mind. This was a piece of content I definitely wanted to put out there and make for you guys because it's just crazy to see how at a first glance PC gaming looks so unfeasible. People see headlines how mainstream gaming GPUs cost $600 plus, and your old system or last gen card is obsolete because some new unoptimized trash that everyone will forget about in a couple months uses so much VRAM. PC gaming is not expensive. It's actually very affordable, more than ever. You just have to take some time to do some research, figure out what it is you want to do with your system. Don't worry about all the new stuff coming out, especially if you're someone who's enjoying the top games being played on Steam charts, then it's all irrelevant. Anyways, that'll do it for this one. Hoping you guys got some valuable information out of it.
Danny makes great videos, by the way, guys. Yeah. Okay, I saw something in chat here. Where was it? That's the end of that video. So, if consoles are $500 at 4K and 120 FPS, I should be able to afford that in a PC at twice the cost. Probably less than twice the cost. This PC that he mentioned, which I actually built this up as well on my thing. This here, about the same PC, a little bit more expensive. But this guy here is faster than a PS5 and Xbox Series. And it'll easily well, it's gonna do 4K to the same level because the PS5 is not 4K. Yeah, they do like 4K 30 and they get upscaled like crazy. And you know that they've been doing like interlaced frames, which is kind of like faking frames as well, like DLSS 3. Like, let's look at this PC has a 6700 XT in it. I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, guys, if you ever want, money is no object. I'll show you in a second. What does it say that this? How many teraflops is this GPU? Yeah, this is a. I don't know which metric they use for the PS4, but on PS5. But FP32, 13.2 teraflops. Talking about theoretical performance. Yeah, if you guys want to see, by the way, anything that is in my system, if you're curious of what my system specs are, it's in the description. The stuff I use to film, my microphone, it's all in the description, headphones, all that stuff. So yeah, let me show you the money is no object build. So money is no object is $13,000, which pretty cheap, honestly. Yeah. And you're looking at, you know, casually a 4090, you know, 2 8 terabyte NVMe SSDs, 128 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, I'd say PC gaming is pretty affordable. I think your starting point is about $13,000. If you want to go crazy, you get $13,500. Yeah. Yeah, and then we have a 3 monitor setup. One is basically the size of a TV. It's 65 inches, $4,000. It's pretty cheap, pretty affordable, in the range of most people. You get the Xeneon Flex, which all the YouTubers made videos about. That one is like a budget monitor. Look at that. Vex. About AMD drivers a while ago, there was an issue in their driver Adrenaline software, like a corrupt Windows installation. It's fixed now, but it was quite a severe bug. Well, this is the ultra budget monitor. I don't think this is OLED. So this is ultra budget. $600, $550 is pretty much the minimum entry point into PC gaming. Yeah. What was it? I heard about the Windows thing. The thing is, like, every now and then there's going to be some crazy bug with PCs or with any driver, and it could easily be computer breaking. And that was such a niche issue that I barely think anybody was affected by it. I wouldn't worry to that degree. People were going to bring that up to really rag on AMD, but I think it was fine. Yeah, you gotta get the OLED. Like, I think when they heard that driver was a problem and it was breaking Windows installs, I think they were on that super fast. Like, they wasted no time. So something else I wanted to show you guys was, what is this game called? A AAA game by your favorite publisher. EA. I know we love EA here. We stand at EA. Yeah, I did see the EVGA 4090. I think it was a chonker. So this is like the type of thing that people are gonna point to with PC gaming. This game is a tech demo, dude. I'd be surprised if the gameplay is really, really good. But the minimum specs was a high-end gaming PC from about 3 years ago. High-end. Like, that's ridiculous. And recommended, it's like $1,000 PC build for recommended specs. Maybe even more if you want to go in video. On 3080 Ti. From Unrecord. New gameplay from Unrecord. What is that? Wait, was this that game? I saw an Asmongold clip. It's like a VR game? Yeah, this looks crazy. Yeah, I saw it. Do you guys watch Asmongold? I watch him. That's why I saw that. This looks crazy. I actually thought it was real life when I was watching it. I mean, it's obviously some sort of like texture mapping kind of thing. I bet they have it in like some kind of 3D space. This isn't VR? What amazes me too, like look at the how the gun animations are. And how the brightness changes when you walk in. It's like your eyes expose. How is this not VR?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
It looks like a GoPro. Especially with a little bit of YouTube compression on it, like... It's pretty hard to tell. So are you not actually playing this? Do you only make decisions? Bro, is there a drone? Like, I love how the gun animations are, bro. That's insane. It is on rails? That's lame. Stanley Parable. It looks pretty close to real life, though. This is UE5.
Where the fuck is Oscar?
Yeah. It is cool, though. This is on record. Or on record. I don't know. Dude, it's like this game, crazy graphics. In this game, World of Avium. This game. I didn't know either of these were coming out. But yeah, it's kind of wild. PS5 exclusive. Like, what are you really doing in it? If it's just decision making, it's like, honestly, why is it just not just a movie then? It's the same thing with like those supermassive games. Why is it just not a movie? They did it on Netflix. $6,600 is 6 years old. What do you think of this 1440p 360 Hz build? Oh man. Okay, stole that from chat. Okay, 7800X3D B650M Aorsley. I bet that's an expensive motherboard. I mean, fast memory 6000. I mean, this is gonna just. What games are you playing at 1440p? This is gonna destroy any like esports games at 1440p. Yeah. I can't confirm if 360 hertz is good or not. Ollie did a good video. Ollie did a good video. 1 second. He just did this.
Alright, so here I have two of the best gaming monitors that you can currently buy. Both made by Asus, both are 27 inches, but this one is OLED and this one is IPS. The OLED is also 240Hz, while this one is 360. Now I've tested them out pretty extensively.
And look, guys, he's playing Overwatch. Look, he's... Hey, we're at 69 viewers again. Let's go. Remember the police quest SWAT was a thing? No, I don't know that. Like, OLED has really good colors, really good response time, that it almost, what he said, it feels very similar to 360 hertz IPS. So like, it's more efficient with its refresh rate.
Played a bunch of hours on them, and today I just want to share my overall thoughts on them. You know, how they differ, how they kind of feel a little bit different to play on, and also which one I'm going to be using moving forward. Now, the OLED that I've been using mostly is the one that...
Also, by the way, how the heck is he so jacked? How much does this man lift?
Play on, and also which one I'm going to be
I always
using.
notice that with him, bro. He's like
Now,
the most
OLED that I've been
jacked
using
tech
mostly is
reviewer
the one that I've first reviewed,
ever.
That's the LG 27GR95QE, but the one that I'll be talking about mostly in this video is the new Asus PG27.
Maybe he's on gear. Maybe a little bit of Trenbolone.
It's the exact same panel, same response times, very similar overshoot, although the Asus is slightly better. The image quality also looks identical to the LG at the same settings, but the new Asus OLED does get
It's
noticeably
60 hertz.
brighter, while the LG tops out at around 210 nits.
Also, what brightness do you guys use on your monitors? I'll check mine real quick. I think I'm only at 50% right now. I'm at 60. 60% on my monitor. I have an IPS. He lifts monitors all day. Now he lifts like this crazy $4,000 TV. He lifts these monitors.
With the new firmware update, the Asus can reach just under 250. Now personally, I didn't have a huge problem with the brightness on the LG. I found myself using it at about 85 to 90%.
Like 20 to 30%. 50% contrast, 80% brightness. Still flash bangs me. Yeah. I mean, I keep my room pretty dark, so not crazy. I can adjust the lights in my room, so.
At the same time, I don't like gaming on a super bright display. It kind of wears out my eyes really quickly, and my gaming setup is not that bright, to be honest. But for those who do want that extra brightness, it is definitely a nice boost from the Asus. That extra 40 nits of brightness is actually...
Also, do you guys think the extra clarity on OLED, because you're going to get better contrast and maybe better colors, do you think that would help gaming as well? Compared to just IPS, do you think you'd see things better? You know, you're at 1080p level of PPI when you use 30. Yeah, it's similar to a 1080p 24-inch monitor. Yeah,
pretty noticeable. The color accuracy on the Asus is also much better out of the box. The designs are also quite different visually as well. Just really depends on what you prefer. But I
think that's pronounced Crisis. What do you think about VA? Do you have a higher end VA, or is it kind of the lower end ones? Are they good? I thought about getting VA.
Other than that, it's the same panel, and aside from the brightness and stock colors, it's basically the same experience. So the Asus is a superior package for this panel. It is the better monitor, mostly because it gets brighter, but it is, however, slightly more expensive. What I really want to talk about today, though, is OLED versus IPS, specifically these two monitors from Asus right here. And it is a tough decision. Like, these are extremely top tier gaming monitors.
So like, they make the Odyssey monitors, Samsung. What what would a nice on Odyssey? I think they were like $1,000. So like, do you get contrast comparable to OLED on the VA then? And are the colors as good as IPS once you get expensive enough, or what? Frame chasers.
I can see why I'm getting a bunch of questions about them, but
Ollie
they're
also
both
talks
kind of
about motion
top tier
blur.
in their own ways. And I mean, we've got to start off with the OLEDs.
Yeah, I
image
love
quality.
32-inch
And I know I said
1440p.
it in the
I mean, it'd be
review of the
better if
LG,
it was
but
4K.
It's only fair that I mention it again.
But
the image that you get out of the OLED is just simply amazing. It's not even about those deep inky blacks, which you've probably heard time and time again. I'd actually say it's mostly the mid-range in terms of contrast that I enjoy most about the OLED. That's where you really get the separation, you know, compared to IPS.
is that the MSI monitor that's pretty popular? I have a dedicated gaming monitor. So 132-inch 1440p, 165 hertz. Oh, he also compares them to the G8. I'll check that out then. Is that a recent video?
Hell.
Is that recent? I don't know where this... I think I'll just look it up. OLED versus IPS versus VA. This?
Once and for all, what is the best gaming monitor?
Yeah,
Okay,
gotcha.
so welcome to my ghetto monitor testing lab. So I've had a few days now to test all of these monitors. I've been playing games on them, and I feel like I have a really...
I kind of agree. I think he could make some better thumbnails. Not many of these make me want to click on them. The face is a little bit too close. You can hear somebody snoring. That's my dog. Yeah, she's sleeping on my bed right now. Yeah.
good, firm grasp on what to recommend for which situation. Now, I don't use any scientific tools
And sorry, I can't really stop my dog from snoring.
here. This is all subjective based on just me playing the damn game. Now, should you take my advice based on just me playing the game? I'll leave that up to you. If you're happy, I'm happy. Now, I don't script my videos at all on this channel, but there's actually so much information to cover.
Okay, I've never seen this guy before, bro. I'm sad about his
Here that I actually had to
sad
make
about his
bullet
hair.
points for all the things that I want to say. Now, the goal of today's video, you are a high-end gamer, whether it be
Mr. Beast
single player,
thumbnails.
multiplayer, esports driven, what have you. Which of these monitors is best
Or if they were Mr. Beast thumbnails, they would look uncanny. They wouldn't look human.
for you depending on what your goal is?
Yeah, I might check out this video later. It's a lot longer than I thought it was. He said he doesn't script his videos, but it is 26 minutes long for a comparison video. Maybe he should script his videos.
Able to play on this one because there's no brightness, man. Now here's another problem with the brightness of this screen, right? So you can tell here the contrast ratios on this one are the best.
Everyone always, bro, he should just cut it off.
Check out the brightness of
Sorry, it doesn't look good.
the stars here.
I don't even think
At
my
the
hair looks so good right now.
It's pitch black, right? Now if you go over
Maybe
here,
I should
it's
cut
kind
it
of
off.
the same thing, except the stars are much dimmer, right? Now, the next thing I wanted to say, if you're playing, let's say,
It also helped him because it's such a long video. He should do timestamps, and he should probably put like a little like name card which one's which, because I didn't listen at the beginning. You have a dog that's snoring? Yes. I can show you guys a picture of dog again. I've shown before. He's chilling. Yeah, but there's a difference between, like, if you want people to actually watch this stuff, that's the problem. Here's dog. There she is. I didn't wake her up by taking the picture. I'll show it a little longer. Well, the problem, you said the middle one doesn't look good.
Warzone.
This can always just be an exposure problem with the camera. It's like you really have to do this properly. If you want to record a screen and make it look as close to real life as possible.
And you are against a rose skin. Remember the old rose skins in Warzone 1? And they would kind of prone on staircases and you couldn't see them in shadows? This screen makes that problem way worse. So the black levels on this one are so black that you actually have to go into the OSD, like the thing I showed you earlier, and you have to crank the black equalization almost to the maximum. And then which...
So this is the OLED then? On the left?
case, that makes the blacks kind of gray.
Oh wait,
to
sorry, I'm not
Asus
showing you
over
guys.
here. You can kind of see how the blacks are...
So the one on the left is the OLED, and then he's saying the blacks get so deep that you can't see things through the shadows. And then, I don't know. From this image here, they all look pretty black to me. But, I don't know. G8 in the middle. So that's the VA panel. ROG 360 on the right. Okay, so then the left is OLED. So middle is VA, right is IPS, and left is OLED. Yeah. I don't know. There's always going to be monitors that are in the same price point. Arguably, if burn-in wasn't a thing, OLED objectively isn't it just the best tech? He recommends a 360 hertz IPS. Is that because of the black levels? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
If you turn it off, it fixes it pretty much, right? Now, the OLED and the 27-inch Asus over here, they look pretty identical to me. You also have to keep in mind I'm using 120 hertz right now. That's the only way to display it on all three of these screens, right? Now, if I'm actually playing the game, the Asus still wins.
He just said that the right one is IPS. Oh, no. No, he said the right one's VA, right? No, he said it's Asus. Yeah, the Asus one is the IPS one. Right. This is IPS. Yeah, the right one's IPS. Someone explain burn-in. So, if you want to, do you know anything about it? So all OLED is, because OLED is just all of the pixels individually. They're all their own RGB LEDs. Some of them have a white light in them as well. But, zero. So basically, LEDs are going to wear out because they can only they only have so much of a lifespan. So when you display the same image on the same LEDs all the time, so like say you have static images on your HUD or something like that. I say on my thing, if on my Windows thing, say my taskbar is always showing, it's always going to be showing those colors all the time, and then those lights in particular are going to wear out faster. And then whenever you see an image across it, there's basically going to be like a faint image of the burn-in because those LEDs are starting to wear out. That's basically all it is. So you can kind of fix it by some ways if you shift pixels consistently or consistently have different like moving images on your screen, then it makes the burn-in like equal across all the pixels on your screen. And that's how we try to avoid burn-in. Do you have a cat too? Yes, I have 5 cats. Not a good long. Can you fix burn-in? You can't really fix it. But you can try to do a screen cleaning, basically. And you can run like a program that tries to equalize the burn-in between different things. You just replace the screen, yeah. Or some companies actually have a 3-year warranty for burn-in. So if you get burn-in within 3 years, you could actually get a whole new screen. So the reason you would pick OLED is because every pixel is individually lit. And then that means that it's going to be able to reproduce its own colors as perfectly as it can. And then you can also turn off each pixel individually. So you have pinpoint accuracy on what brightness you want for each pixel, and you can get perfect blacks because the whole pixel can turn off. Whereas if you have an LCD, it's kind of like a panel that's in front of a backlight, which means the lowest that you can ever get on an LCD for blacks is whatever the backlight is shining through, and you turn off the colored pixels in front of it. I remember burning. Yeah. No, it doesn't break it. It's just like burn-in isn't gonna break your monitor. It's just like you're gonna have worse image quality. Unfortunately. I'm buying a TV from a crackhead. Bro. You bought your TV from Taco Bell, bro. Micro LED isn't it really good because that means like you have smaller backlights so you can get like HDR effects and get deeper blacks. Yeah, I like that as well. Micro LED. It's like the panel behind it. Usually your backlight is a bunch of small LEDs that are just white lights, or sometimes they're blue lights. Okay, so he said, show us your build a month ago. Take my What are you talking about, bro? You tripping? I just realized I have a 1440p monitor. Well, congrats, bro. Oh man, is living large. I'm probably gonna end stream around 11:30, by the way, so we can kind of chill out for a little while. Gotta record a video with a friend. What display technology does not suffer from significant burn-in? LCD. So IPS monitors, VA monitors, TN panels don't. Mini LED doesn't either, which is similar to LCD. But OLEDs do, yeah. What would be perfect for HMDs? What are HMDs? You know, to explain that acronym. Also, a lot of people say that OLEDs increase the power draw. Like you have an OLED on a laptop, but isn't it if you display more black on your screen, then you're not using as many pixels? So wouldn't you have a more efficient screen? I can do a fresh build. My current PC is a 1600 with an RX 570. I'm gonna give it to my son with a I'm looking to do a... Wait, I'm confused with what your comment is. I'm looking to do a fresh build. My current PC... So are you giving this, your old PC, to your son? But you're gonna maybe get rid of the 570 for 6700 XT? And what is he gonna be doing on it? I feel like you can get a lot better PC for $1,500–$1,600. Head mount display VR stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think any display would probably work. The truest to life is probably going to be OLED. So you'd probably go OLED, right? But I don't know. I'm sure they're all fine. How many hertz until you can't tell the difference? I have not tested above 165, so I cannot confirm that, guys. I mean, I wish I could try like 240 or something. And I think I have fine enough. I play Overwatch and I have fine enough response time at 160. I don't care. High refresh rate, some weird. To say that some people can't physically see over 120. Didn't maybe we could watch the Linus video. I think Linus did that.
You guys loved our last video using a high-speed camera to investigate the real-world performance impact of upgrading to a high refresh rate gaming monitor. But you also had some feedback on...
Yeah, the human eye can't see more for you. I agree, yeah. I'd say a big jump would be going from 120 hertz to 240 hertz. I mean, you'd probably see that. Yeah.
On both our testing methodology and our gaming skills. So for round 2, we reached out to NVIDIA for the sponsorship we needed to take our test to the next level. Thanks to them, we are on location in the Santa Ana Esports Arena. We've got a much wider variety of tests and
this is a long video.
Systems, and we were able to get some very special guests to come and participate. Representing the Filthy Casuals, we've got yours truly and Paul from Paul's Hardware, and we are going to get truly embarrassed today because in the pro gamer tier, we've got Corey here from the Washington Justice Esports team.
I have kind of a general idea of what I'm doing today.
Then we've got a couple of outstanding Twitch streamers, Mr. Grims.
Going from 144 to 240 kind of felt like a slight upgrade for me.
And as so very many of you requested, the one and only Shroud.
Going from 60 to 144 is like night and day for me, obviously, right? But 144 to 240.
So let's get...
Like if you guys only ever experience 60 hertz and you go to 144, like Shroud said, yeah, it's a huge difference. But yeah, you start to get diminishing returns over a certain point. I don't really care for anything more than 144 hertz. I don't really think. I think that looks hella smooth. What does Paul play? What about... I've never tried 360 hertz or 500. I can't confirm.
Down to business, shall we? So to measure the impact of monitor refresh rate and FPS in-game on our subjects, we've built a suite of 5 tests, going from synthetic reaction time tests to aiming tests to putting the whole thing together. So behind me, I have 3 identical systems, except that they've got one key trait modified. So they're all running Core i9 9900K processors. They're all running the same Acer Predator 240Hz displays, but their graphics cards...
You guys saying that look like Linus? don't think I look at all fucking at all like Linus. Maybe just because I clean shave because I can't grow a beard.
Have been altered. System number 1 is running an RTX 2060 Super, which is capable of running our test games today at anywhere from around 250 to 300 frames per second, and its monitor has been completely uncapped to 240 Hz. This is our best case scenario for competitive gamers. Or so we think. We'll see how the results go today. System number 2 is at the other end of the spectrum. So our monitor refresh rate has been turned all the way down to 60 Hz. But we went even further than that, because having a very high performance graphics card on a 60 Hz display still does
They're using Overwatch, guys.
actually give you better responsiveness than if you had a lower performance graphics card. So we have dropped our GPU all the way down to a GTX 750. This is going to give us anywhere from 70 to 85
Yeah, 500 Hz
FPS
monitors do exist now. They're TN panels.
in our games. And finally, by popular request, representing the middle ground, we've got our third monitor dialed into 144 Hz and hooked up to a GTX 1650 that is going to push anywhere from around 150 to 185, 200 FPS. Now, just like last time, our test subjects are going to have no idea what hardware they're sitting down in front of until they actually start to game, and we're going to be using high-speed cameras to record not just their test scores, that we could get out of the software, but also the exact points they're aiming at and even how they aim. So pulling that duty, we've got a couple of prototype cameras from our homeboys Chronos that are capable of 1080p capture at 1,000.
Man, they got sponsored too. Let's go. They're always sponsored. So, what do you want to, Westward Smile, what do you want to do with your PC? Like, what games are you going to play or what? Didn't you say you wanted 1440p 240 Hz? And I forget what you said.
1,000 FPS for 10 seconds at a time each, giving us a total of 20 seconds of 1,000 FPS capture. Now, because that's not long enough for some of our tests, pulling backup duty today is our red Epic W 8K camera that is going to be running at 1080p 240 FPS. Hey, how's it going, dude?
It's good.
Do you want to know what you're doing today? Okay, so we set it up so that while we are running in-engine tests, in-game tests, rather than just like a web browser-based skills trainer, the tests are really designed to test your skills, as opposed to test your ability at a game. We actually had some special development done for this video in the YPRAC Aim Trainer so that we could get exactly
What games are you playing?
Okay. And what is YPAC?
It's a workshop map by Jesper that's basically like a combination of a whole bunch of different skills training things that you can do. Testing your reaction time.
I mean, a 3080 6800 XT can play a lot of games at 1440p.
Kill rates as you have enemies popping up in a shooting gallery. All kinds
Like,
of cool stuff.
I have no problems on my 3080.
We've got 5 different tests, and we're going to run them until we start to see statistical convergence, and we can be.
And if you're talking about a high-end gaming CPU, if you would want something that is kind of a, what do you want? More of a, I'm trying to think. 1 second. If you want like something that's more future-proof, then you could go with a 7800X 3D on the new gen, or you could do a 5800X 3D on past generation from AMD. I'd say those are the best value just for gaming CPUs. But if you want some productivity stuff, then you might want to look at like some higher end ones. I don't know anything about VR really. I've heard that Radeon does have problems though.
Confident in our results per gamer. So you'll be trying at 3 different frame rates: 60 FPS, 240 FPS, and 144 FPS to determine where is that point of diminishing.
I'd say a 6800 XT.
Does FPS make a difference at all?
Or 6950 XT. If you actually just get a 6950 XT, 5800X 3D, you could even play Cyberpunk at that, or you could go for a used 3090. 3090s are pretty nice on the used market as well. You can get them for like 700-ish, somewhere in there, if you're willing to go used.
is it FPS difference or and hertz, or is it just FPS? You know what I'm saying?
What a wonderful question. I am so glad to...
Right. The problem is you say if you're competitive, go 4080, but your budget is only $1,500-$1,600. Like, you can't get one. $1,200 for a 4080. It's not in the budget. I mean, you'd probably even be fine with a 4070. That's not even a bad deal. You get warranty on that 4070 for about $600 right now, and they're in stock. Yeah, and then get a 5800X 3D from AMD. Honestly, I think the whole PC would be probably around $1,200. Let's just check this out really quick. $5,800X 3D. Get them 4070. About $1,300. Let's say you could be able to max out any game at 1440p pretty much. And you could say 6950 XT. It's pretty much a toss-up between those cards. Like, I wouldn't really say a 4070 is better than a 6950 XT or the other way around. Yeah, 6950 XTs are, I mean, they draw more power, they have more VRAM, and they will get better rasterized performance. 4070 is faster in ray tracing. Yeah. Well, it depends. You could go with new gen, and you could get a 7700X. It's not gonna let me do that because of this. But how cheap are what are the motherboards at? Why don't let me pick a... Where's this at? What? Why isn't Ryzen 7000 on here? Huh? Wait, guys, why isn't Ryzen 7000... Also, do you have a monitor? It won't let me pick 7000, or do they not have these on PC part picker? They don't have Zen 4 on here? They don't. It's weird. Yeah, Ryzen 7000, it doesn't exist, dude. It just doesn't exist. Okay. Well, I guess I mean, we could do a write-in. Like, what do they cost? At $350 on Amazon. I thought you could do a place-in part. I'll just say this. 800X. Just in place of a 7700X. I mean, oops. This would be a 7700X and it'd say 350. And then motherboard. I doubt they have the 650 boards then, right? Yeah, they don't have anything to do with Ryzen 7000. What the heck is this crap? What's a good price for... I thought Ryzen... I thought they went down the prices. That's the problem, is like if you get a new gen, your motherboard is going to cost some more, but you get some more future proofing. It's like $200 for motherboard. I'll just do a place in. Say this, it's fine. And then you can't go DDR4. Oh, wait, did it block? Wait. Oh, wait, I think that's why it doesn't exist. Guys, I think I figured it out. Because we have DDR4 RAM. That's why. I was like, it doesn't exist. What? That makes sense. Here we go. It exists. Okay. So a B650 board. Yeah, so you can get some boards kind of cheap now. These aren't bad. This is the Asus Prime one. Yeah, I got you. I actually didn't see your comment. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you. And then what kind of RAM? I think 6000 is usually the sweet spot right now. I don't think 6400 has been worth it. And you get 32 gigabytes probably. Let's get 2x16. Okay. So first kit, that's DDR 6000, I think. Patriot, maybe not Patriot. Team Group for $100. Thanks for the dono, by the way. Yeah. So if you were to go new gen, I mean, your RAM and your board costs a little bit more, but you do have some more future proofing if you would want to upgrade your CPU down the road or something. And yeah, you're looking at about $1,400-ish dollars, and obviously add tax and stuff. And yeah, are you gonna get a new case and new? Oh, what? Yeah, I think that would be good, Westward. How much of a difference does cast latency make? I think it's pretty good though. I think I'm gonna once I see a response, I'm probably gonna be wrapping up the stream here pretty soon. Oh yeah, you probably have to have storage. I'd actually recommend getting a separate drive though. Gen 4, say 2 terabytes. Does this board have 2 NVMe slots? I would just get a Gen 3 drive actually. That's where the value's at for 2 terabytes. Just get some good storage. Just a Team Group one. Yeah, you basically just want really good RAM for everything. I think 6000 megahertz was like the middle ground though. It should be like decently fine though. Now we could maybe see something else, but could try 5600 megahertz. It's also 36. Means we'd have to limit cast latency down to 16 or something. It doesn't even exist on DDR5, dude. I don't even think you would. Unless it only allows... No, it just doesn't even exist. 4000 series just... Yeah, if you want to do that, it's basically like, oh, you get this build and you have some future proofing on your CPU upgrade or whatever down the road, or you get a faster GPU right now. You can get a 4070 Ti, or at that point, if you're willing to go AMD, I get a 7900 XT. Also, the 7700 is probably a good deal on this gen, but obviously, this literally runs just as fast as the other one. Yeah, that should help though. So you could do like that. I mean, I would recommend the 7900 XT over the 4070 Ti personally. So if you like the 5800 X3D, okay, now my RAM's messing me up in the other direction. And DDR4 RAM is just so cheap right now. Is this just a gaming build? That's a micro ATX board. I like ATX. Because you get more features. Yeah, 7900 XT is a 20 gigabyte card. $3,600 megahertz would be nice. Two by 30, 2 by 16. These are so cheap, dude. It's crazy. I like team group stuff. I mean, they're fine. Yeah, and then I'd recommend the AMD card over that, over the 4070 Ti. But if you don't want the 4070 Ti, then that's fair. Really good build here. So I'd recommend. Okay. I think you can check out the did a video about this. So where is RT in this? I think they're, I mean, 4070 Ti does, at least in Cyberpunk, it's faster. So if you wanted to check out RT, maybe. I'm scanning this. I didn't know if he did a roundup on the ray trace benchmarks, but it doesn't look like he did. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, you'll get better ray tracing performance on the 4070 Ti. If you want that, you can go crazy. It's whatever you wanna get. 12 gigabytes of VRAM is also something you have to consider. So, especially with the VRAM, it depends what games you're playing, but yeah, the latest games might struggle with that VRAM. With RT on. RT uses more VRAM. Alright, I'm going to... Yeah, I thought they were closer on ray tracing than I thought, but they aren't. I think that should be a good PC. If you want ray tracing, just replace the GPU, the 7900 XT, replace it with a 4070 Ti. Or if you want to go use, get a 3090. 3090 is 24 gigabytes of VRAM, but it's used, so that's up to you. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream, guys. Got to do some stuff. So talk your stuff, or I head out. Yep. Well, wherever you guys are, have a good night. Have a good rest of your day. Yep. Guys, have a good one. Peace.